Hello, welcome to Chat and Chew, formerly called The Dietitians. My name is Gigi Naval, and I'm faculty at Loma Linda University and registered dietitian. Today, I have three fabulous students who will share with you some amazing information about superfoods. But first, let's get to know them. To my right, I have Corinne Smith. Corinne, please tell us, where are you from?
I'm from Los Angeles.
Awesome. And what was it that made you decide, okay, I want to become a registered dietitian?
Well, prior to this, I had my own business. And when the economy hit, it hit me really, really hard. So I had to make some really major changes.
Okay.
And I have always loved the nutrition and exercising and just being healthy. And I just thought, what better way to go? Become a dietitian.
Perfect. I love those stories. Thank you. And to my left, we have Alyssa Davis. Alyssa, where are you from?
I am from Rancho Cucamonga, California.
Ah, not too far away.
Not too far away.
Great. And what was it that made you decide, okay, I want to go to Loma Linda University for my education?
Well, as soon as I figured out that I wanted to do something in the medical field, which originally was PT, I wanted to do physical therapy.
Really?
Yes.
We're glad we got her over to our side.
I came to Loma Linda, got familiar with the PT program, and then I ended up taking nutrition. And I said, you know what? Loma Linda, it's an Adventist place, and I'm Adventist as well, and we're known for our, health message and everything like that. So I decided Loma Linda and nutrition, they just go together. So
perfect, wonderful. I didn't know that until now. After 2.5 years, cool, wonderful. Yeah. And Alyssa is already a registered dietitian. Corinne will be soon, so it's going to happen. All right, thank you. And last but not least, we have Ashley Fuller. Ashley, where are you from?
I am from Modesto, California, which is in Central California, about 6 hours north of here.
Yeah, okay. And so when all is said and done, what is your ultimate goal, your objectives for being a dietitian and helping people at the end?
Yeah. I just have this passion for nutrition, and it is just so fascinating to me. And I love that, you can, there's so much to learn, and we're still learning so much. And I really want to help people get some of that information that's coming out. And there's just, a lot of misinformation out there, and I want to help people know what's accurate, what's actually good for them. And I really hope that with my career, I can do that and help others in whatever way I can.
I love it. That's great. All right, so sit back and enjoy Superfoods. You are what you eat.
So just like superheroes swooping in to save the day, superfoods are here to rescue our bodies from illnesses, nutritional deficiencies, and the threat of obesity. So I'm going to be talking to you about two great superfoods. I'm going to start with quinoa. I actually made a few little notes so I wouldn't forget to tell you all the important things. So quinoa is considered high in protein. It actually contains all the 9 essential amino acids, and I believe that it's the only grain, it's actually a seed, but they consider it more of a grain because the way it cooks, but it's the only one that has the 9 essential amino acids. It is also a natural appetite suppressant. I recently read a study, and it was done in quinoa, and what they found, it was effective with the participants that were eating a lot less food throughout the day. It is also an anti-aging miracle. Who doesn't want to stay looking young? It's gluten-free. This is really great because many Americans are becoming very intolerant with the gluten. So this is a great substitution or addition to your diet.
Yes.
Clearly, quinoa offers lots of nutritional values, and it's also very low in calories, very little fat. I'm a big fan of quinoa. I tend to have it either for breakfast, lunch, or dinner. I either scramble it with my eggs, or I chop it up and make it into a salad. And also you can add it with soups. I mean, you can just be creative and make your own dish. The other superfood that I'm going to talk to you about is kale. Kale provides a ton of vitamins and minerals that the body needs. Kale is actually one of the vegetables with the highest ORAC rating. So this stands for oxygen radical absorbance capacity. So what does this mean? In simple terms, it means it goes after the free radicals that causes damage to our cells, and that in turn, that can turn into illnesses such as cardiovascular disease, diabetes, and many other diseases. It is also great for digestion. It is high in fiber and high in water too content. So this is great for prevention of constipation. And it also is low calorie. Just 1 cup of kale, it's only 36 calories, so you can definitely have a lot of that. Kale is also high in iron, vitamin K. Vitamin K is a great vitamin because it protects around many different types of cancers. It's also a great anti-inflammatory. You know, it helps with arthritis, with asthma. It also is high in vitamin A. That's great for your vision, for your skin. So again, so how are you gonna make kale? How do you prepare kale? Kale, you can either chop it up, make it into a salad, you can put it in your smoothies, again, you can put it in your soups, or you can just put it in your favorite dish. It really mixes really well. I'm a muncher, I love chips. So this is a great way to make kale chips. It's very easy. All you do is make sure you wash it well and you dry it, and then you cut it into little small pieces. You take the stem off and you put it on a flat pan, and you just drizzle a little bit of olive oil, put a little bit of sea salt on there, and you put it in the oven for about 10-12 minutes. Keep an eye on it for about 270 degrees, but make sure you keep an eye on it because it's really thin and it can burn very easily. So as you can see, that these are 2 great superfoods that it's great to combine in your diet. What do you guys think?
I think that those are really, really great. And I didn't know about the ORAC rating. That's very interesting.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
No, we're always
for
eating
you.
kale every day. It's like our favorite salad green. It's everywhere.
Very, very true. Very true.
If I'm not eating it for lunch, I know
One of us.
listening,
I
somebody
am, or
is.
Ashley is. And quinoa too. Corinne,
Yeah.
she's not lying when she says she eats a lot of quinoa every day almost.
So good.
So my super contenders are very colorful, they're bright, and they come in many different shapes and sizes. The first one I'm going to talk to you about is the bell pepper. Bell peppers come in a bunch of different colors. There's green, yellow, red, orange, which I think is kind of cool. It's one of the most versatile, colorful vegetables. And not only are the colors pretty to look at, but the bright colors show that they contain high levels of carotenes, which are great for heart health and also for cancer protection. The deeper the color, the more vivid, the brighter, the more plant compounds it contains. They are also a rich source of vitamin C, which is very important. They contain high amounts of vitamin B6 and carotenes, as I mentioned earlier, and they are also rich in vitamin E, which is an antioxidant, which is important for the prevention of certain diseases such as cancer. My second super contender is the tomato. A lot of people don't really think of tomatoes as, they just think of it as something to put on their sandwiches or their burgers or add into a salad. And tomatoes are actually a very, very good dietary source of lycopene. And lycopene is also helpful in prevention of certain types of cancer, such as prostate cancer is a big one. And it also contains carotene, antioxidants, which combats heart disease, and it also contains vitamin C, just like the bell pepper. The red color, the bright color, they're very similar. It also has quercetin and lutein, which help prevent cataracts and keep your eyes healthy. So you want to have good vision, you want to be sharp, long until you're aged. So it's also high in potassium, which helps regulate your body fluids. And both of these are vegetables, so they're going to be high in fiber. Fiber is really important for digestive health. Really important. It keeps your digestion normal, and it keeps everything moving through the body. My third super contender is not very well thought of as like a superfood as well, but it's actually really, really good, and it's really small. It's cilantro. It's considered high on the list of healing herbs. And something I found out that I didn't realize was that cilantro contains 9 different antibiotic compounds. It's also a good source of several nutrients, including potassium and calcium. And it helps regulate blood sugar, so for insulin-resistant diabetics, it can be helpful with that. It has anti-inflammatory effects, which is really good because you don't want your body to, you don't want your body doing that. It has a positive impact on blood cholesterol levels. You want to it keeps your bad cholesterol down, and it keeps your good cholesterol up. So you want to make sure that you include that in your diet, and it also contributes to improved eye health. So all of my super contenders are good for your eyes, they're rich in antioxidants, and they help fight disease.
And they're beautiful. Like, you wouldn't want that on your plate.
Very, very true.
Super colorful.
No, I love that. That's great. Like all that information, like I didn't even know all that. All right, so the superfoods I'm going to talk about are more in the fats category. Now, hopefully you've heard not all fats are bad for you, and there's some fats that actually are shown to be very beneficial. So one of these amazing fats is actually olive oil. Now, you probably have a bottle of this in your kitchen. Like, it is very common, and most people don't think of it as a superfood, but it is. It's amazing. It has so many good nutrients in it. So olive oil is really cool too, because it's probably one of the more, I'd consider, pure oils, because the way it's made is really interesting to me. So they take, olives from olive trees. What they do is they crush them, then they macerate them, which is basically making into like just a pulp. And then they centrifuge it to separate the water and the oil. And then they take that oil, and that's how they make extra virgin olive oil. Now, if you don't know the difference between extra virgin, virgin, and normal olive oil, there's actually a big difference, and it makes for really big price differences if you see olive oil in the grocery store. So what I have here is actually first cold-pressed extra virgin olive oil. And that means that it hasn't been processed, it hasn't been heated to destroy any of the nutrients inside. And extra virgin olive oil is going to have the most flavor. So it's really important when they make this that they get really good olives, because you're going to get a lot of that flavor. And it's amazing too, because depending on the regions they grow it, you can get all different flavors. Anyway, it's really fascinating, and I loved looking up all this stuff. So extra virgin olive oil is the kind you're going to use more for like salads and maybe dipping for breads, because it's going to have that really good flavor. But it's not the kind you really want to use in cooking, because your flavor is going to be lost in the cooking process. So it's okay to use like a lower grade olive oil, maybe one that's not like extra virgin or virgin, it's a little bit cheaper. So why is this olive oil, why is it so amazing? Why do we consider it a superfood? Now let me tell you. Have you heard of the Mediterranean diet? I don't know if you have, you know that olive oil is huge. Like, it's all about olive oil. And that's because it's been shown to help with the blood lipids, like lowering your total cholesterol, lowering your LDL cholesterol. It's really amazing when it's substituted with other fats like saturated fats. And it has, really good effects on that. But it also has lots of antioxidants, especially if you get the more extra virgin kind, which is the first pressed version of it. And it's going to have a lot of those almost like remnants of the olives still in there and that flavor. It also has really good vitamin E. But what makes olive oil unique is that it's really high monounsaturated fatty acid content. About 73% of it is monounsaturated, which is really high for different oils. So that's what the monounsaturated fats are, the ones that are supposed to be really good for your blood lipids. So that's one of my superfoods. And the next one is something maybe you've also heard of. It's also really big in the health world. It's chia seeds. And the big thing about chia seeds is they are so high in omega-3s. I feel like they don't get enough talk about how high they are in omega-3s. In 1 ounce of chia seeds, there is 5 grams of omega-3s. And what's really cool is flax seeds are another really good food that has omega-3s in it. But you have to grind them to get the oil out. These you can eat raw. You can put them on so many things. And what's really great about omega-3s, they're important for brain function and memory. So if you're deficient, that can be one of the symptoms, is if your memory or brain isn't working quite well. It's also really good for your blood, like cardiovascular disease. It's been shown to be helpful with that. So yeah, chia seeds are one of my favorite like new foods to just put on everything. Like I know Alyssa's always topping it on all her foods, and I think we all do.
Oh, yeah.
I always see her eating her yogurt.
Yeah.
So then because she's doing that, now I started to do that for my breakfast. I'm like, oh, I want to have her memory.
Yeah. And if you don't know, omega-3s are really essential to get because our bodies don't make them. So that's why you really have to focus on the foods you're eating and making sure you're getting those foods that are considered essential amino acids so that your body can function right. Otherwise, there's certain things in your body you're not going to be able to do. So that's my second superfood, and we'll be using this later in some awesome recipes.
I cannot wait. I'm very excited. I love chia seeds. Just really quickly, all of these foods that we've mentioned are very nutrient dense. And when you're choosing foods that you're putting into your body, you want to go for higher nutrient density, maybe lower calorie, rather than higher calorie, not so many nutrients. Am I right, girls?
Yeah, and just like I mentioned earlier about the study, how they had done that, the participants were feeling fuller and they were eating a lot less. It has to do because of that,
Right.
the higher density.
The nutrient density. Right. You don't want to have empty calories because that means that you're putting food in your body that has no vitamins, no minerals. Mostly, it's just going to be sugar and fat, added sugar and fat on top of that. Examples of these empty calorie foods are like donuts,
Pizza,
Anything with your white flour,
Desserts.
they take all,
that we all love.
Yeah, even juice. And so what a lot of people don't realize, there's so many calories in an 8-ounce cup of juice, and that's, most people are having a 16-ounce cup. So you want to really watch out for those empty calories because they're not adding anything nutritionally to your diet. They're just adding the extra calorie intake.
Yeah. So you want to eat the whole food. That's basically just the stories. Making sure you get the whole package with all the nutrients and everything.
Exactly.
So, yeah.
Very good. Yeah. So speaking of nutrient-dense foods, we have a few recipes, a few things that we're going to put together with our combination of superfoods.
Yeah.
Corinne, take it away.
Okay. So just like I talked about, I'm going to be mixing my 2 superfoods that I love. So starting with quinoa. Quinoa, this is how it looks, just like this. So the way it's cooked, it's just like you're cooking rice. You put 1 cup of quinoa and then 2 cups of water. So we're going to mix this. And this, it has, they say that it has kind of like a nutty flavor, so it's pretty tasty. Has lots of flavor in there.
I have a question for you.
Oh, yes.
I know I've seen you sometimes make your quinoa with vegetable broth rather than water.
Oh, yes. I always tend to put some vegetable broth in there because it just gives it even like the extra flavor, and it's so good. I mean, sometimes I just even eat it plain.
Yeah.
So I'm adding about 2 cups of kale that I chopped up. Let's see, what else we have? Oh, the bell peppers.
Need help with that?
Hey.
Sure. These are the beautiful bell peppers that Alyssa was talking about.
They look the colors.
And I put about half a bell pepper.
It looks so pretty. I'm getting hungry. Are you
And
guys?
it smells so good.
Sorry about that.
It's all right. It's okay.
Oh, wow, that is beautiful.
I mean, isn't it such a beautiful, the colors? And, you're going to get different vitamins and minerals from all different ones. So you always want to incorporate your diet with different types of foods and colors because you're going to get many different minerals.
Yeah.
Yes.
Each of the colors is like a
Onions.
different phytonutrient, if you've heard that term. So they're going to provide something different. So that's why they say eat the rainbow, because you're getting like a whole variety of different things in your diet.
Exactly.
So something like this, like, does that not look like a rainbow?
It definitely does.
And I'm adding a little bit of parsley to give it an extra little bite to it.
Yum.
Yeah, any of those herbs, like Alyssa was talking about cilantro, any of those herbs have so many nutrients in it too. Like nutrient density is going to be the word of the day.
The word of the day. I love it.
And of course, the wonderful olive oil that
Yes.
Ashley was talking about.
Yes.
Your
It's about
monounsaturated.
2 tablespoons in here.
Yeah.
You just And you can kind of play with this recipe. Sometimes I put carrots in there, zucchini. I eat it cold, I eat it hot.
Yeah, whatever's in season, really.
Yeah.
It's so versatile.
Yes.
And then lemon to add that flavor in there.
Yum.
Lemon just takes it to another level. If you haven't tried putting lemon in your salads, you just go do it right now. Just
Yes.
do a favor for me and just
Lemon on a lot of different things.
so many.
It goes well in salads,
Yeah.
chicken, fish. Go
And
ahead.
just some salt in there.
That looks like some fancy salt.
Yeah.
Yeah,
kind
some
of stuff?
sea salt in there.
Wow.
Any
looks-
type of salt would work.
Yeah.
That looks really tasty.
Oh my goodness.
So you just mix it up. I mean, it's just super easy. This is something that I love to bring. If somebody invites me out to dinner, this is the dish. And they ask me for the recipe, and just super easy.
So simple.
Very
Can't wait to
nice.
eat it.
Yeah.
It looks really delicious. And speaking of colors, just really quickly, a general rule that I would try to go with, just to make sure that you have enough colors on your plate, is when you're eating fruits or vegetables, try to put at least 3 or more colors on your plate.
Yeah,
And that way, you're making sure you get a balance of nutrients, and you're having a little bit of fun with the rainbow. So my recipe is going to be a quinoa stuffed bell pepper. I kind of usually I cook my quinoa first and I toast it off a little bit so that it gets a little bit of extra flavor first, and then I cook it with the water. And I also, at the same time, it's 2 cups of quinoa, and then I'll cook a half a cup of corn, half a cup of black beans on the stove, and I'll just put a little bit of sea salt in it to season. And while I'm cooking those, I will chop up or quarter zucchini and yellow squash, about half each. And then I cut up about half of a tomato, dice it up into fine pieces, and chop some cilantro. So that is what I have mixed up here in this bowl. It's kind of takes a while, so I pre-did it so that we could move into the good stuff.
Yeah.
So once I put all that together, I use a tablespoon of cumin, and I sprinkle that in there to give it a really nice flavor. And a half, I'm sorry, not a tablespoon, a teaspoon. I'm sorry, that's a lot of cumin. And then I have my half teaspoon of chili powder to give it some extra spice. And also sometimes I like to chop up some chilies like jalapenos and put it in there. That kind of helps to change it
like
up a
that
little.
spicy.
Just make my mouth water. I'm like, we're having that for lunch.
Yes. And then you want to take about a teaspoon of garlic powder and onion powder, sprinkle it in there. And then the recipe that I use calls for sea salt to taste, so it depends on how much salt you like. I know my beautiful friend Corinne here doesn't care for the salt too much, and I have other friends who really, really like it. So you kind of have to season it how you're feeling or how your guests are feeling or how your family feels.
I don't feel like you have to stick to like one recipe. Like make it your own. It's fun. Like I love cooking.
Exactly. And the thing is, when I found this recipe, there was no zucchini in it, and I wanted to add more vegetable, more substance.
There's no rules.
Help keep me fuller. Exactly. So I added my zucchini. And what I've done is cut the tops off my bell peppers so that I can stick them in. You want to make sure you wash them well to clean out the seeds on the inside. So you're just going to spoon in some of the filling. It smells so good. Making myself hungry right now. Thank you. Corinne, would you grab the cheese for me, please?
Oh, yes.
Right in my little bowl, and I just grated a half a cup of Jack cheese, Monterey Jack cheese. You can use pepper jack too if you like it a little spicy. And then you're just going to sprinkle a little bit of cheese right over the top. A little more. Yeah, it depends on how you're feeling. So this is what it looks like before it goes into the oven. It's nice and stuffed. And then once you take it out, it might shrink down a little bit, but this is going to be your finished product. And what I like to do is put the little top back on top for like a fun, cute little garnish.
Cute.
And the good thing about this dish is not only is it packed on the inside with lots of food and lots of nutrients, it also, you can eat the vessels. So it's really, really tasty, and it's a really good nutrient-dense
And if you
dish.
make that for your friends, they're gonna be blown away.
Exactly.
Okay. So what I'm doing, also using similar ingredients, I have quinoa here, and what we're going to be making is actually quinoa kale patties. So something really good that could go along with, you know, a salad or maybe on a sandwich or something like that. So what I have here is 2 cups of quinoa I cooked, and I used a vegetable broth, so it gives it that flavor. It's a really easy way to flavor your foods if you just like put broth in it. So again, 1 cup of, you know, regular uncooked quinoa with 2 cups of water, and then with your vegetable broth if that's what you're using. And so I did that beforehand, and basically another ingredient that's going to be really important in here is actually incorporating our chia seeds. And so what you do, we're going to use this as a binder, and it's really amazing the way chia seeds work. They absorb this water and multiply in size, and they work really good as a binder because they do that. So they're going to absorb all that stuff, and we're going to set that aside because that's going to be our binder, and it needs to absorb that water for a while. So this is actually 3 tablespoons of chia seeds and 6 tablespoons of water. So you just set that aside. We're also going to add in 1/2 cup of your oat flour, which also acts as a filler. And I have 1/2 cup of shredded sweet potato, and also see the orange beta carotene.
Yum.
Yeah. And I have 1 cup to 2 cups of kale. So we're going to mix all that in. And ideally, this would set for a couple minutes. So, but anyway, when you're done, you just throw that all together. And you mix it up, and it makes this, you know, even consistency. And then what you're going to do after you get that all mixed up, you're going to spray a sheet and you know, maybe with some kind of cooking spray. And then you're going to form these into patties once you get this really mixed up, and bake them at 400 degrees first for 15 minutes, and then you're going to flip them and then bake them in 10 minutes after that, and then they should be done, and they will look something like...
Ta-da!
Oh, wow. Those look
Look how pretty. You
delicious.
see all the nutrients in there? Like lots of color.
Yum.
So, we're about to end of our show today. I hope you've learned a lot of great new bits of information that you can take home and use. I don't know if you noticed, we incorporated all these nutrients into our foods. You can use them in different ways. They're very versatile, and they're so healthy for you. So please, go try some of these foods if you haven't before, because we love them and we know you will too.
It's our staple diet.
Yes.
Can I try it?
Yeah.
I've been like wanting to try this. This
Me
is so
too.
exciting.
Yeah.
Oh my, I'm gonna try it. Everybody. Oh my goodness, we only have a few
I
more.
know.
So good.
Well,
Thank you.
Everybody for me.
Oh, I think the cameramen are gonna want to have
It was really hard not
oh
to
wow,
eat this.
this is delicious.
Very good,
texture's
Ashley.
wonderful.
And they stick together, which is thanks to the chia seeds. Like,
That's true. The binder.
Yeah.
It's amazing. You
You
don't have
can-
to use
Wow, that's
eggs.
good.
You
No,
don't
yeah.
want to.
Yes.
So what a great binder. Great substitute. This is oh my. I think I'm gonna just be eating. The rest
Us
of this.
too.
And theirs too.
Yeah.
that's the other reason we went into nutrition, because we just
We love food. We can't
That's-
get away from it.
Yeah, who would want to?
Yes.
So true. Well, thank you, ladies. What a great way of presenting the superfoods. You all did great.
Thank you.
Still eating. Thank you for joining us. And please try all of these superfoods at home.